Hi, my name is Lisa Blair, and I'm an instructional designer at Grantham University. I will be your guest lecturer for this module on converting written lectures into multimedia presentations. You will be the star of these presentations, but don't be nervous. I know what you're going to say. Oh, I hate the way my voice sounds, or I hate seeing myself. Well, my advice to you is simple. Get over it. Let's first consider why we are focusing on this conversion of written lectures to audio-video presentations. I'm sure you can easily imagine at least 3 issues that surround the use of written lectures in an online environment. You think about those while I go to the next slide. So you probably thought at least one of these 3 things. Students may not be good readers for several reasons: the lack of time to read, the lack of money to obtain books, learning disabilities, or just a learning preference for audio or kinesthetic learning. Further, many of us have had bad experiences in previous learning environments that have tainted our innate love of learning. We learn to call lectures boring, and with that ready excuse, we shut down our readiness to learn. Most significantly, though, the solitary act of reading in the online environment lacks the human contact that stimulates our senses. When we hear the voices and see the faces of others, we are much more likely to engage, focus, and process information. Our goal is to be visible, immediate, personal, and proactive. So how do audio-video presentations help us to achieve these goals? Today I'll present the top 10 considerations for producing your very own engaging, transformative, and impactful learning activities that incorporate different learning modalities. Scripting is the process of writing your script. Here are some tips. Write in proper English. Double check your grammar, punctuation, and spelling. Not only will this enhance your presentation, it helps the instructional designers in captioning your presentation to meet ADA requirements. Second, write as if you are speaking directly to the students. Say you instead of the student. Prepping materials is particularly crucial if you are making a how-to tutorial. Think of it as a cooking show. Put all the ingredients out on display, ready to be mixed according to the recipe's instructions. But also have a finished product on standby to display when the demonstration part is over. I had to learn the hard way in my first attempts at screencasting, but now I know that I should size my documents to fit the frame of the screencast, and then to minimize those documents so they are queued up at the bottom of my screen. Part of your preparation should include staging and lighting. This is relevant when you use the webcam to show yourself to the students. Natural light is superior to fluorescent, and the light source should be in front of you, not behind you. On that note, turn around and look behind you. What's on display? Will it distract the students from your message? Also, consider the acoustics of your room. Smaller rooms with layers of fabric are superior to the larger vacant rooms for recording. Think about other sounds that might interfere with your recording. Your cat, your dog, the phone, the doorbell, your partner walking in with a cup of tea for you. Devise a system to eliminate these distractions. Consideration of lighting also leads into a discussion of makeup and awareness of color. Take a moment to groom yourself before you start recording. It's the last thing on your mind when you're working, but it's the first impression students make when they see you and hear you. Pay attention to how different colors affect your skin coloring. Maybe wearing green washes you out, but wearing maroon brings out the color in your cheeks and the sparkles in your eyes. While we don't anticipate any Super Bowl wardrobe malfunctions during your recording, do be aware of things like your necklines on your shirts and dresses and blouses. Here's another tip. Solid colors record better than small stripes or prints. And if you own GU logo wear, why not show your school spirit? Your hardware includes your computer, webcam, and microphone. You may need earphones or a headset as well. This is one area where we really need you to be proactive in seeking help from your own friends and family or from web-based tutorials that help you use your hardware. One tip to consider is the angle of your webcam. Is it too high and looking down on the top of your head? Or is it too low and looking up your nose? The software that we recommend is typically free of charge, and the results are an MP3 audio file or an MP4 video file. You can use Office Mix for making voiceovers with PowerPoint slides. We have been using Screencast-O-Matic for all these videos in GU 975. We also use Captivate and Camtasia. You might be familiar with Jing, but unfortunately we've discovered some incompatibility issues with Jing. So talk with your instructional designer about software and the file formats that work best. Practicing. Practicing separates the experts from the novices. Experts recognize the value of rehearsal, and they prepare themselves for peak performance by critically reflecting upon their practice. As you practice, consider these tasks. Time yourself so that each presentation lasts between 5 and 10 minutes, preferably 5 minutes. Practice maneuvering between your hardware, your software, and the documents. Practice your vocalizations so that students can hear you and understand you. Ultimately, all this hard work will pay off when students have learned something new. Our job as educators is to provide a transformative learning experience. So that means the student sees things differently as a result of learning. All of these previous steps, scripting through practicing, they all lead up to the big 3 E's: educating, entertaining, and evaluating. Entertaining is an underrated word in education. Perhaps a better term would be engagement or even emotion. But what we're really trying to do is make a connection with our students, and audio video is a wonderful vehicle to accomplish that goal. Show yourself to your student. Share your stories or your tales from the field. Offer real-world problems that you have encountered. Share a joke if it's relevant. Make a human connection by entertaining and educating. Evaluating. Here's the big one. At first blush, it may seem difficult to evaluate student learning through audio video, but you can. You can offer pop quizzes by posing questions, pausing for think time, and then presenting the answers. It's not just about evaluating student learning. You need to evaluate yourself as well. Review your recordings with an eye toward the big 3 E's: educating, entertaining, and evaluating. Here's the question. How do you know that students have learned what you intended to teach in these audio-video presentations? My parting words to you echo a sentiment that I shared earlier. Get over yourself. Focus on the student experience. Start writing a script that opens that connection between you, the students, and the course content. This is the fun part. Enjoy!